Is Sunday, July 2025. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. 2 years since Barbenheimer. Can you believe that? And we have some interesting results at the box office to tell you about. Plus, Happy Gilmore returns with the new Netflix movie this Friday. We'll get into Smurfs. I spoke with director Chris Miller. We'll talk about all of that, the box office, and more here on this new episode of LCJ Live. You're here. We're live. It's Sunday. Thanks for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Live. Send in your questions, your comments. Did you see Smurfs? Did you see I Know What You Did Last Summer? Or did you catch up on something else? Or did you see Eddington? I saw Eddington. We'll talk about all of that here coming up on LCJ Live. If you saw Smurfs on Friday, which is what I did, because there were no Thursday previews for it, you got this collector's print poster. Plus, I talked with director Chris Miller just a couple hours later. Happy Gilmore. If you got this cup from the Subway meal, everybody's been doing promotions this summer. Even pharmacies. Walgreens is doing a Freakier Friday promotion. So all these restaurants, all these chains, all these places have been doing so much promotion for these summer movies, I think more than in the last 5-6 years since COVID. Number one this weekend is Superman, which has Dairy Queen behind it. $57.3 million for the second weekend of Superman. It is up to $235 million domestically. Now, Man of Steel in 2013 only totaled $291.1, so I think we're going to pass that off of this second weekend if it could do. But here's the thing. Fantastic Four is just 4 or 5 days away. So is Superman really going to take a hit, or are people going to want to see it again later on in the summer, catch up on it, maybe closer to Labor Day? That's been my gut feeling with F1. What's going to happen with Superman? I think we'll pass that 291.1. I think Warner Brothers would be disappointed if Superman didn't cross at least 300 million domestically, but it's number one again, so they'll take it, 57.3 million. And it's the third biggest Warner Brothers movie of the year, behind a Minecraft movie and Sinners. Number two this weekend, once again, Jurassic World Rebirth, added 23.4 million. It's at 276.2. Now, the interesting thing is it's pretty close to what the third weekend of 2022's Dominion was. That was 26.7 million. But by that point, Dominion had grossed 303 million, and it totaled 376. We are $100 million away from Jurassic World Rebirth matching what Dominion did just 3 years ago. I don't know if we're going to get there, even if people catch up on it, see it a second time, drive-ins, all of that through Labor Day weekend. I don't know if Jurassic World Rebirth can get another $100 million out of it. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Number three is I Know What You Did Last Summer, only $13 million. A little bit above Lionsgate's revival of The Strangers with Chapter 1 last year, the opening weekend of that. Also a little above Megan 2.0, but significantly less than what Paramount has had with the revivals of Scream over the last few years, as well as Warner Brothers earlier this year with Final Destination Bloodlines. So just 13 million. 17% of that, 2.2 million, came from the Thursday previews. The diehard fans wanted to see it right away. That was 2.2 million. So it really only did, 10.8 million Friday, Saturday, and today itself. Wow, that is not a lot for I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then we get into Smurfs, number four this weekend, with only $11 million. That is lower than I think Paramount wanted and animation fans wanted. 13.2 million was the opening weekend of the fully CG Sony Smurfs animated movie, Smurfs The Lost Village from 2017. 13.2 million from that. It totaled 45, so it made more than 3 times its opening weekend, but it was because it came out the week or two after Boss Baby, and then everyone who had seen Boss Baby, if families hadn't seen Smurfs, they caught up on it, and there wasn't a lot of family competition for several weeks, so that's how Smurfs was able to go from 13 million to 45. The Sony CG live-action combos, 2011, made 142 million. 2013 did only half, did 71 million. I think that was an indicator right away. Ooh, maybe this was almost a one-hit wonder-ish to go from 142 down to 71, down to 45, and now we're at 11. And Smurfs will make a little more this week and next weekend, but then Bad Guys 2 is about 10, 11, 12 days away. And so Bad Guys 2, I think, is going to do more than what the first one did, which was 97 million, really bring in families and do very well the entire month of August into Labor Day weekend. Fanimator 101 can't wait to see Bad Guys 2. It says hopefully they'll get the Smurfs right next time. So I'm not sure there's going to be another Smurfs movie for quite some time off of this opening weekend performance. It's also another disappointment for Paramount Animation, which last year had the very good Transformers 1, which only opened to 24 million and totaled 59. It was a disappointment for sure at the box office. I spoke with director Chris Miller on Friday, just hours after I saw Smurfs, which includes the SpongeBob short, Order Up, I think that's what it's called, which was like a lost cartoon, a lost 2-3 minutes of it. It's fun. It was nice to see the animation on the big screen. Chris Miller, my conversation with him, it's at lcj.podbean.com. Animationscoop.com has the transcription of it up there. He put a lot of work into this over the last 3 years, a lot of care into what the Smurfs mean to a lot of people, the different visual styles we get, the star-studded voice cast, the emotion, the look of the characters. There's a lot there. It is adventurous. It's fun. It's got some solid songs in it. Rihanna's got a new song. James Corden sings in it as well. There's a lot of new characters. There's some wacky elements for sure. I think for the elementary school crowd, they will get enough out of Smurfs for sure. And it was great to talk with Chris again. He was on episode 2 of the LCJ Q&A for Puss in Boots back in 2011, and now we're approaching almost 400 episodes of the LCJ Q&A. He was Oscar nominated for Puss in Boots. Stayed at DreamWorks for a little bit, went to do some other projects, back in the director's chair with this, and he really enjoyed that experience. I really enjoyed my conversation with him. Check that out. Also at lights-camera-jackson.com in the podcast section. The Golden Oreos. I think Smurfs cashed in 80s nostalgia. Check in those live-action movies. Hasn't been able to stay relevant since. It was a big deal when that live-action film came out in 2011, the live-action CG film. It was in that height of, you had Alvin and the Chipmunks, you had Yogi Bear, you had a lot of these older cartoons with the new live action CG spin, and that was a really hot time for it. I actually saw the first Smurfs movie twice in theaters. First was a free screening, and then went to see it again a second time. By the way, still haven't seen the same movie at indoor theaters twice since Lincoln. Still have not since 2012. I've seen a couple movies twice, once at drive-ins, once at indoors, some at home via screeners or screener links, and in theaters, and some combo. But as far as indoor theaters twice, which was the case with the first Smurfs, still haven't seen a movie in that way twice indoors since Lincoln in 2012. So, Paramount's got to be a little disappointed, but I think Chris Miller should still be proud of the movie he made. He says he's proud of the movie he made. It was fun to talk with him on opening day of the movie. It did not hold Thursday previews. Friday was opening day, which is rare for a movie these days. Paramount is, they had a big movie this year in Mission Impossible. Novocaine only made $20 million. This isn't going to do a lot. They've got Naked Gun out in 2 weeks opposite Bad Guys 2. And hopefully Naked Gun is funny. I'm hoping it is. Speaking of Mission Impossible, by the way, I want to mention that The Final Reckoning has passed 2015's Rogue Nation. Not adjusted for inflation, but still, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is at 195.9, and Rogue Nation did 195 in 2015. So congratulations to Final Reckoning, the best, I think, of the last several Mission Impossibles, and a big finale for passing 2015's Rogue Nation. Number 5 this weekend, F1. Let's give it up for F1, which finally had a small drop this weekend. We had a 55% drop, we had a 49% drop, and we all went, oh no, this movie doesn't deserve that. Finally, just a 26% drop this weekend. It added 9.6 million. It's at 153.6. This is the kind of drop we needed the last 2 weekends as well. If it holds, you're looking at 175, 180, maybe more. We'll have to see. That would be great for F1. Number 6, How to Train Your Dragon, 5.4 million. So it did about half of what Smurfs did this weekend. How to Train Your Dragon is up to 250.7 million domestically. Number 7 this weekend is Eddington. All right, I saw Eddington on Thursday. I think it's a better movie than Beau is Afraid. Some parts of it, I think, are even better than Hereditary, but maybe not the movie as a whole. There are some sharp moments, some smart observational moments, but it's really just kind of a hodgepodge of what happened in the early months of COVID, all thrown at us all thrown onto this one town. And it's hard to take it all completely seriously. It's almost a farce in a lot of ways, which I didn't expect. I thought it would be more of a deep social commentary drama, and it's really not. And then it becomes an action movie towards the end. I would say Austin Butler's character was completely unnecessary. Definitely the weakest element of it. He's not in the movie much, but that section and that element did nothing for me. Emma Stone's performance, nothing for me. Joaquin, he tries a little here and there. I've been hit and miss with Joaquin Phoenix over the years. Really good in Joker, but some of these other movies, like even The Master, Inherent Vice, Come On, I didn't care for. The Joker sequel wasn't good. So I've been hit and miss with Joaquin Phoenix. But I did like You Were Never Really Here, and that movie don't go far on foot. It wasn't great. So yeah, Eddington isn't a disaster. It's interesting in parts. It's almost like watching paint dry in other parts. It's long. It's 2.5 hours. I didn't hate it, but it's not great. And it only made $4.3 million this weekend in more than 2,000 theaters. Not good. Beau's Afraid totaled $8.2 million for A24, so this could come close to matching that or surpassing that. But when you look at Ari Aster's previous films, Hereditary made $44 million for A24, and Midsommar made $27.9. We're not coming close to that. The interest in seeing this hasn't really been there. We got some comments in here. Fanimator liked Lost Village. I talked with Chris Miller about Smurfs: The Lost Village because the late Kelly Asbury, who I interviewed twice, directed Smurfs: The Lost Village. Kelly was a mentor to Chris at DreamWorks Animation, especially working on those first 2 Shrek movies. Kelly died in 2020, which was heartbreaking for the animation community. And again, I spoke with him for Smurfs: The Lost Village as well as Ugly Dolls in 2019, just a year before he passed away. Kelly's films were great. I mean, Spirit, Shrek 2, Romeo and Juliet, Smurfs: The Lost Village, and Ugly Dolls. He put a lot of care into all of those films. And Chris has been thinking about Kelly a lot, including on Fridays. So that was really nice to talk with him about that. Pete Crooks, Eddington is awesome. It's like a Jim Thompson novel. I don't think it's awesome. I don't think it's horrible, but I just kind of sat there going, okay, we're regurgitating in Cliff's Notes form what happened. You want to give us any more? And then some of the directions it goes, like even him trying to be the mayor of the town, just that the way the story went, not a lot of it worked for me. A little of it did, not as much as I wanted. Scott Stallion, do I need to see Beau's Afraid? No, it is a bad film. It's especially the last 2/3 of it, really bad. Who was operating the drone? Oh, talking about Eddington there. Hearing Bad Guys 2 is as great as the first. I hope it's fun. I hope it's a good time. DreamWorks sequel. I spoke with Pierre Perifel, the director for the first one, and I hope it's fun. I hope it's escapism. I think for a lot of young kids, they're going to be laughing a lot, hopefully entertained by it. We haven't had a fully animated movie hit $100 million this year because a lot of these family films that are doing well, it's almost like the 90s. These live-action CG or purely live-action films. But a Minecraft movie, Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, they're not fully animated films. The biggest animated film this year is Dogman with $98 million, followed by Elio, which came in 8th this weekend with another $2 million. It's at 68.9. And then King of Kings is number 3 with a little over $60 million. So those are the 3 biggest animated films of the year, pure animated films. Bad Guys 2, I think, will become that. Of course, Zootopia 2 will do really well for Thanksgiving. And SpongeBob is out for Christmas. Beau is wild and long, but a unique effort, says Pete. Certainly see it before Smurfs. So Elio, by the way, again, it had a $20 million opening weekend, a little more than that, almost at 70. So definitely more than a 3 multiple on that. So that is, again, not nearly as much money as Pixar and Disney wanted, but at least it did well over 3 times its opening weekend. Number 9 is Lilo and Stitch, added $1.5 million. It's at $418.2 million domestically and just passed $1 billion worldwide. And rounding out your top 10 this weekend is 28 Years Later, which added $1.3 million. It's at 68.7 for Sony Columbia, which has not been having a good year. 28 Years Later, number 1 for them. Number 2 is Karate Kid Legends, which has only done $53 million. Paddington in Peru only 46, and now this I Know What You Did Last Summer revival only opened to $13 million. Columbia not having a good year. Is Lilo and Stitch the most successful live-action Disney? I don't think it is. I feel like The Beauty and the Beast did well over $1 billion. I don't have all those numbers, but I feel like that happened. It did over 500 million domestically, so I don't think Lilo and Stitch, but certainly $1 billion. Disney will take it. Neja 2 over $1 billion, and now Lilo and Stitch with $1 billion globally, as well as that Lion King revival. Correct, 2019, which did 1.5, 1.6, something crazy, and but Mufasa couldn't quite get there. As we mentioned, Happy Gilmore 2 is on Netflix Friday. I'll watch it. I hope it's fun. I hope there's a good Bob Barker tribute. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Match Game return on Wednesday on ABC. The Fixer is on Friday nights on Fox. I spoke with Marcus Lemonis. He was the prophet on CNBC. Check out that conversation at lcj.podbean.com. My conversation with the makers of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus is available at lcj.podbean.com. That starts on Disney Junior tomorrow. Some exciting things in the world of animation tomorrow with another revival in an animated series. I guess I'll say what it is, Gumball. I talked with the makers of The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. You'll get that episode at lcj.podbean.com and animationscoop.com tomorrow. And yes, we're doing that. And now I will mention Fantastic Four. Here we go. This is going to be the last gigantic movie of the summer. Bad Guys 2 could do pretty well. Naked Gun will hopefully do all right. I think Freakier Friday can open to 70 million or close to that, unless my expectations of box office of that are way too high. And then the rest of the summer, some interesting smaller films, some animated films, but not a blockbuster. So here comes your last $100 million plus opportunity for the summer, unless Freakier Friday does crazy numbers. Here comes your last big $100 million chance for an opening weekend for the summer with Fantastic Four First Steps. I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. I hope it's not derivative. I hope it's not same old Marvel. I hope you can connect to these characters and that the humor isn't forced and that the action's good and the visuals are nice and the music I've heard is decent from what the first comments have come in. So I'll be seeing Fantastic Four this week, some other movies as well, and I'll give you my thoughts on that later this week across all the social media platforms. X at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, YouTube.com/LightsCameraJackson. Subscribe. We are live every Sunday at noon Eastern. When we're back here next Sunday at noon Eastern, we will take a look at that Fantastic Four box office. It's got to be a $100 million weekend or Disney will not be happy. It's got to do that. Superman did 125. Can this do more than 125 or will it be less than that? That is the question. That is what will happen. Christian Kozlowski says, horror movie Weapons could be a nice August surprise. It could do okay. Not a $100 million opening weekend, certainly, but it could. It depends on the reviews and the buzz for it. That's a Warner Brothers film. Fantastic Four, it's got to do triple digits or Marvel's just going to go, wow. Captain America made half of its money basically in that extended President's Day weekend. Thunderbolts only totaled 190. Here we are, MCU. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line for theaters. There's a lot on the line for Disney and Marvel. Also go to lights-camera-jackson.com, toofast2films.com. Oh Hi comes out in theaters this weekend as well. I've seen it. I didn't love it. Mike Sargent and I are going to record a new episode of Too Fast, Two Films soon. We're going to talk about that and the film Sovereign, which we both recommend. So Oh Hi is coming out this weekend. It won't make a lot of money. Not a lot. But when we're back here next Sunday, we'll look at that Fantastic Four box office and preview how The Bad Guys 2 and The Naked Gun will do as a good 1-2 combo to start off August. If you want more as well, go to animationscoop.com. That's where you got my Q&A with Chris Miller for Smurfs. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here for LCJ Live. I got some fun surprises and other things as well for this week that I'll share later this week. So you'll be able to see all those on the social platforms as well. Take care. Have a good week. Have a happy week. And I'll see you next time here on LCJ Live. Bye-bye.